Did, did you know that there's a certain pulse, there's a certain breath, which if you're in touch with, you could move through the daily movements of life in a way that is peaceful, that is gentle, that's kind, and that has you evolve, but at the same time, as you are moving and becoming a better person, becoming better than who you were yesterday and before and day before, you would also be enabling other people also to become better. That there is a pulse which is unique to you, because of which, because of the presence of this pulse, and I'm not speaking about the heartbeat or the respiratory rhythms, but another rhythm whose expression is in the form of the heartbeat and respiratory rhythms, and there are several other rhythms. This rhythm, which I call as the breath of life, which has been called as the breath of life, has a pulse that is unique to each person. Maintaining this pulse, which the body naturally does have, but like a vehicle, like um, any instrument that is being used, the more you're aware of this pulse, the more you are in the presence of it, the better it gets, and the more in alignment it is maintained. The more well this pulse is maintained, better gets life, not only yours but also life of others. This pulse is in sync with the pulse of life that is unique to the planet. Well, if you we haven't heard about any other planet or celestial body which has life in it. And this pulse that I speak about is in sync with the pulse of life that is there on Earth. Well, which has life, which has Earth be a living planet. So the more we are in sync with this pulse of life, the more we are in sync with life that is on the planet, that has us, that had us be another living being that evolved from other life forms on the planet and now has us be in the human form that we now have the privilege of living. The more we are in sync with this pulse, the more we are in sync with that which sustains life, not only in us but also sustains life on the planet. And to repeat, this pulse is unique to each person. It is like a grand embroidery when it's like several musical instruments which are likely to sing together to form a music, a grand orchestra. When all of them, when it's as if each of us is a certain musical instrument. When we are, when our rhythms, our body is made up of several rhythms. When they are in sync and functioning in sync, it's as though there is a certain music that emerges, but as against when rhythms are playing in cacophony, like in an orchestra, if all the instruments were playing at different pitches, then you would have a cacophony. Similarly, when the body is made up of several rhythms, when the rhythms are playing in sync, health is optimal. The, there is likely to not there's most likely not going to be any diseases, and life evolves into healthier forms. And that has a certain feel to it, a certain expression to it, a certain sense to it, which is akin to music. And when one person is functioning healthily, and there are other people also functioning healthily, it's as though we have a community of several instruments which are playing in sync. And when several instruments are playing in sync, there is an orchestra. There could be like a Bach, there could be a Mozart, or a South Indian kacheri. There is a sync And life begins to become music and dance rather than that being of the hues and cries from diseases, from different kinds, different expressions of life. That is, that is yet it's like an ill-tuned instrument which is likely to have different kinds of sounds, which is not quite native to that instrument. So I invite you to um, embark on a journey with me to discover these rhythms which are innate and natural to life itself, and better still, to discover who you are, what you are, where you are, what do you have, by exploring the rhythms that is unique to you, and thereby discovering the music that is not only your health but also the music that could be your life, and forming, and from the music that your body could be, what value you could bring to life by the health and the joy that comes from being a well tuned um, instrument of life and joy, not only for you or the people around you, but also for generations to come, on what value you could bring to life by the fact of being the best version of you.